Welcome to The Art of Being Unstoppable, the podcast where we will go beyond the ordinary and embrace the extraordinary. Be part of down-to-earth, no BS conversations where we will explore hot topics on love and money, relationships and business, beauty, and who we get to be with all that shit in between. With our insights and your actions, let's be unstoppable together. Let's go.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of The Art of Being Unstoppable. Today is December 24th, and Tina and I are together today to talk about what we want to bring into the new year and what we don't, and what we get to release, should I say. And, December is a very special month for most of us. I mean, we all Christmas, but I love December for a lot of other reasons too. I love Christmas. I do. I love Christmas. I love the feeling that I get when it's Christmas. I love the sparkling lights and the decorations and I think too, what I really like is that I know that we're all getting together and that we're all going to spend time and share and show the love. So what?
And I'm laughing right now. I'm laughing because Vicki and I are totally the opposite. She loves Christmas. I'm like, how quickly can the holidays be over? Not that I don't love being with people. I just don't. I feel like it's so commercialized.
I agree.
There's so much hype. There's so many people that are so stressed out over the holidays because they're trying to look good and trying to, make sure they make people happy and buy the perfect gifts. And they put so much pressure on themselves to just do everything and be everything. And you've created this balance where, you look at Vicki's house, it looks like she vomited Christmas. It takes her 2 days to set up her house and it's beautiful, but she doesn't get stressed out over it. Me putting up a Christmas tree stresses me out.
Well, you know what I think too, T? I know. And but I have to say that Tina's house does look very festive. We had an event there on Monday and it does look very festive. It's beautiful. She is more of a minimalist than I am. I am really starting to take some of that on and Tina's helping me with that, which I do appreciate. And I really think that, like, for me, Christmas, I just had beautiful Christmases my whole life. Christmas was a celebration of both my mom and dad's sides together, our families. We had my nanny's birthday was on Christmas Eve. So we had a big party with my dad's side on the Christmas Eve and my mom's family still came. We have a small family. Like my dad had a sister, my mom has a brother but because my parents are gone, they are still here. The sister and brother are still here. So let me make that clear. But, and we always made it. We had very specific traditions. And I know my children, when my parents passed, were like, what's it going to be like now? And they got stuck in still doing the same traditions as what my parents used to do. And I said, how about we change it up? So now Christmas is more not about the gifts. I mean, we have 5 grandbabies. So yes, it's about the gifts for them as well, but it's also about experience. And I think the experiences and the being present with each other is even more important, is just being able to sit around and share the time together. That's what makes me happy. Because that's what made me happy before too, is being together with everyone. It didn't matter about the presents.
Yeah. And I think sometimes, wherever people are at when it comes to the holidays, it's just perfect. I mean, you have such fond memories of Christmas. And I remember when we were little, my dad had 12 brothers and sisters, and they all most of them had kids. So we would get together at my grandmother's house. And it was, a 2-story house with 1 bedroom on the main floor, a kitchen, a dining room, a little bathroom, and I think 3 bedrooms upstairs. And we would cram our whole family in, and it was really great. But my grandmother did not like my mother. The whole family did not like my mom. So we would go. My grandma would make socks or slippers or gloves for all the grandkids. And every year it was the same thing. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot you guys. So she would make stuff for everybody and not me and my sister because she didn't like my mom. So I remember always feeling like a little bit left out. And then it was always drama. So many times I remember leaving Christmas with drama. And then my mom, when she, because she didn't like Christmas, she would leave. She would go from the time we were probably 12, she'd go someplace warm and tropical for Christmas. And then when my parents got divorced, my dad always got depression during Christmas. So it's attached to a lot of
Yeah. Yeah.
heaviness around Christmas. And as much as I try and reframe it, and I want to share this because maybe there are people that are like me that are just have some
Yeah.
stuff from the past. And I want you
Yeah.
to know it's okay. Yeah. But this is the problem. My daughter actually said this year because she lost her grandmother. There is a big falling out with our family and there's a little bit of a disconnect. She said, Mom, can we just cancel Christmas this year and stay in our pajamas? And I thought, this is the impact.
It is.
I'm repeating this cycle, which I don't want to create, but this is what's so right now. And I love how you said we can create new traditions
Mhm.
because maybe a tradition that we create is let's get matching pajamas and let's make a whole bunch of food and let's watch movies
Yeah.
and just the three of us, spend time together. And
Yeah.
maybe that is something that we get to look forward to and recreate. So I
And I
get
love
it.
that.
It's,
And I think that
yeah.
but that's just as important because it doesn't go not being heard, though. I hear what you're saying. I mean, when my parents split up, they split up for a short period of time, but it was Boxing Day that my dad told, like, that it all happened. So I had that, like, I had, a bad experience around that, and it was very difficult. But I always said, like, the joy that it brought my mom, and it's chaos because I remember my mom cursing and swearing in the kitchen while she was cooking dinner. Like and my kids remember that. And I don't want that. That's the one thing that I don't want. Like, I want it to be able to be like, let's all do it. Let's all enjoy it. Let's all have a really good time. And let's just share in the simplicity of just being together and being present.
Yeah.
It's very important to
Yeah.
me. I think, us talking about Christmas and us talking about maybe what we wanted to let go in 2025 and Christmas being very special to me and not having my parents anymore has been difficult. And you know that the last few years, I have a really hard time with it, right? Like I have a hard
Mhm.
time going through the motions of creating what I want to create. But in the same breath, I get to feel them with me. And when I was
Mm.
away, I went on a 12-day road trip to bring my son his car to Florida. And on those, I was very present in each moment of that trip. I went with another person, just a girlfriend and me, and we just drove. And I was present. It wasn't about the checking up with everybody else, what's going on. My family checked in, yes. I talked to you, yes. But it was about the experience. And the road took us to this place called St. Augustine, Florida, and it is literally the town of lights. Like that whole
Mhm.
city is lit up in November and December for Christmas. And it
Oh, wow.
showed me, like, I'd like to be able to visit there every November to just be able to be in the presence. I felt my mom with me. I got to experience the light and the love and the laughter and the Christmas. And it was all like I was brought to this magical place. That made me happy because I got
Mm.
to be present in a place where I've never been, but also feel and get quiet enough to be able to feel my mom with me and be able to, and that I think brought me across the hump of the holiday missing them. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah.
I still miss them, of course, but I mean that gap.
Yes. Yeah, I love that. And those are the things. When I took my daughters to New York City right before Christmas, it was the same. It was just our
Yeah.
time together and magical, and we saw the lights. And even though we went all the way there to see the great big tree with all the
Yeah.
lights, Well, there's another smaller tree, but it's still a really great big tree, and we didn't realize we were looking at the wrong tree. We're like, "Wow, this is so incredible." And then when we got home, somebody said, "That's not the tree." Like, "What do you mean? It was huge." So we missed it. We missed out on I don't even know which tree it is.
But you
But there
got to
is
see a beautiful tree in New
I
York
got to see a beautiful tree.
with your girls, right?
Yeah, yeah, it was great. Yeah, for sure. So, speaking of, traditions, and there's something that you and I do during the winter solstice, which is December the 21st. Is that the shortest day of the year as well?
I believe so, yes.
The shortest day of the year.
I believe
Um,
so, yes.
and it was something so Vicky can share the story about how she found this idea, but when she shared it with me last year, one of the things that you do is you rate out like 12 wishes, what you wish for the next year, or things that you want to
I think we
create.
do 10,
And
T. I hate to interrupt you, but I think it's 10 because it's the 21st to the 31st, right?
oh, 10. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
so 10 things, and so Vicky said, "Okay, we're gonna do this," and so I wrote down my 10 things, and, number 1 was writing my book, and every day you burn one. You don't look at it, you just burn one, and then the last one is the one that you're supposed to focus on, and so the last one that I chose was the first one that I wrote down, which is write my book, and, e and I'm the type of person that we've had this conversation on another podcast episode.
Yes,
Vicky
we
was saying,
have.
"Why are you procrastinating?" And I really didn't feel like I was procrastinating, but it felt like the direction that I wanted to take my book wasn't quite there. Like, it wasn't complete. The book wasn't complete in my life. And so now I see it
Right.
all coming full circle. And now we have what, 10 days left to Christmas? And or sorry, to the end of the year, and, not even. And, I set the intention to get that done, but I've been writing like crazy, hours and hours and hours, and I think I might get it done by the end of December 31st, 2025. Not
And you know
published
what,
or
T?
anything.
I have it completely faith in you to be able to do this because whatever you put your mind to, you do.
Yeah,
Even though
yeah.
you may take the long way around sometimes, but that's your journey and that's part of it. And I really agree with you. You weren't ready to complete that until
Mm-mm.
up until now. And you've like this year, okay, so let's release some of our things from last year. The solstice is very important to both of us, and um we go to an event that really focuses on the solstice, and then we write out our 10 things, and you know we all have ups and downs in life, and sometimes Christmas isn't what we wanted it to be, especially in our area where we live with the way the economy is. And but it doesn't matter what it is, it's about who you get to spend it with. And if you
Mhm,
can't get to that person, FaceTime, call, make sure you get to say the things that you want to say at Christmas. Because
mhm,
you know what? Just that little call or just that kindness when you're in the middle of the chaos of Christmas, just that smile, that kind hello, Merry Christmas, whatever it is important. So let's
mhm.
release and let's look forward. And we're going to do our last podcast of the year will be on the 31st, and it will be with Tina and I. And the next year, Tina is going to be a very special guest on our podcast. Um, yes, and we're going to be bringing in lots of people, but Tina's busy. Tina's creating so much. Do you want to talk a little bit about what you got to release this year and what you got to step into?
Yeah, so for me, the biggest thing was I don't know if I shared this story. I don't know if I shared the story of Roger. I know I shared it with you and I shared it at my workshop. Um, but I've experienced a lot of highs and lows and ups and downs in my life. And I just see it really clearly that it's all part of the process. When you think about watching a good movie or reading a good book, there's always a high moment a low moment, messy moments, and then turnaround moments. Somebody comes in to help the person, and then there's an outcome. Sometimes the outcome is good, sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's a happy ending, sometimes it's not. But life works like that. And wherever we are in our life, there's always we're going to hit those messy moments. And I feel like this year I was in my mess. And what I mean by that is I was being confronted with my identity. I was confronted with um, all of the facades and the personas and
Hmm.
the good girl and the hyperachiever and the gotta get shit done and be on the stage and be center attention, all of this stuff. But I just started feeling through my studies and my spirituality, like, this isn't really who I am. This isn't actually what I really want. Somewhere along the path, I thought that this is who I needed to be. And so I was really confronted with that and letting go. And one of the things that I really saw is maybe the secret to success in life, or maybe the secret to a happy life, is to really be nothing, be no thing. And I think this year was a humbling experience of what does it mean to be nothing? What does it mean to not be the hyperachiever? What does it mean to not be the results producer and the one who has everything together? What does that mean for me? And so it was really liberating,
Hmm.
confronting and
Yep.
liberating at the same time.
Yep.
Because when you get to nothing, then you can create anything. But I had to let go of a lot of patterns that I recognized about myself. And one of those patterns that I recognized is I can't do it alone. I can't, I need somebody to help. I need a man to rescue me. I need somebody to
Yep.
take care of
Yep.
me. I can't do it on my own. And I
Hmm.
started really getting to the source of where did that story come from? Where did that persona come from? Where did the fear come from? And confronting the fears. And I released alcohol. I haven't drank in over a year, because instead of stuffing my feelings and emotions, I wanted to be with whatever was coming up. I let go of dating, and, um, needing to fill that void. Not to say that I didn't go out on a couple dates, but that's literally all it was. It was a couple dates. That'll be another podcast episode. But there I ran a workshop, and there was a man named Roger that came on the workshop, and Roger, was a 74-year-old man who was a channeler on the Gaia app. He had no idea how he got on my workshop. I had no idea how he got on the workshop. His email wasn't attached to my workshop, and he booked a call with me, and he said, "Tina, I was given a message that I was going to meet a woman, and I needed to give her a very specific message. I didn't know who that woman was. I was just following the internal guidance." And he said, "When I saw you speak and I heard your voice, I knew that it was a message for you." And so Roger said, "All I need is your birthday. I wrote down a message for you 10 years ago on your birthday." And this is what he said. He said, and I have it written down because I look at it often. He said, "Eventually," and eventually is the optimal word, "you will have focused attention, and you will own and recognize your ability to create. It will be your efforts and your faith that will get you to where you need to be. You've placed more value on money than individuals, including yourself, and the money has confused you. But you are in a state of getting into alignment, and that is not comfortable." He said, "You will realize that self empowerment is the key, and this is your next level soul. You will live in a world where you are happy, your difficulties will drift away, and you will have an abundance of energy." I was like, wow. I mean, it really hit me because, I had a very successful business. And when my values weren't aligned and when I wasn't being valued, I walked away. And the month that I walked away, I made more in 1 month than I took home in a year's salary being a teacher.
Yeah.
And walking away from that did not feel hard. And most people think, well, that's crazy. I think because my soul, it wasn't me making that choice. It was my soul saying, it's okay. Just go, just go. It did
Yep.
not make sense to me, but I think I was following that internal guidance. And this year I was practicing certainty. Okay, this doesn't feel right. Let me be with it. And the certainty is trusting. And it took me a while to let go of not trusting myself. It
Right.
took me a while to let go of the control and thinking that I'm figuring everything out and I got to figure everything
Mhm.
out and I got to make it work. And if it's not working, it's because I'm doing something
Right.
wrong. No, following my internal compass, I had to tune out outside noise. That means some friendships I kind of put on the back burners, conversations I put on the back burner, a lot of things I did differently because I couldn't hear my voice anymore. All I could hear is noise, noise online, noise on social media,
Yeah.
noise from the gurus, noise from what I should be doing. And all of this was just, it started to get so loud in my head that I just wanted to tune out the world. I wanted to run away. I don't even know how many times I said, I wish I could just move to a deserted island and open up a coffee shop on the beach. You know, forget this
Yeah.
world of personal development. But it was really getting to the point where I thought maybe this isn't even where I'm supposed to be. And I feel that when it gets that loud and when it's that noisy,
Mhm.
it is your soul saying, the whispers turn into bricks. You're either going to listen and tune out to tune in, or I'm going to keep throwing bricks at you.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want any more bricks.
And when you telling this story and being vulnerable about this wasn't easy. This was a really
Uh-uh.
freaking hard time. And you could have very well have gone and said, for lack of a better word, fuck it. I'm out.
Yeah.
Because that's what most of us do, Tina. Honestly, we've been there. We have. I can attest to numerous people in my own life that have been there and thought, I can't do this anymore. I'm just not going to do it. But it's not about not doing it. It's about shifting what you are doing to what makes you happy. And sometimes it does take a brick and upside the head for us to realize that you're not happy. We're on this hamster wheel of doing what we think is right. But if we don't
Hmm.
feel it, and you really practiced spirituality in this last year, and you really showed me a lot about spirituality because that's a podcast for another time as well. I've struggled with spirituality most of my life up until this last year. And this last year, I've
Hmm.
really looked within and I've really started to listen. And getting quiet and listening was the most important thing that you ever showed me. And what you did this past year was getting quiet and listening and allowing yourself to release what should be, what had to be, the things that we were expected to be, and to just, like you said, come from nothing.
Yeah, and it's so interesting, right? Because I caught myself in this pattern too of when people are struggling trying to fix, give
Yeah,
them solutions, give
yeah,
them answers, try this, try that, and I realized that that actually delays their process
yep,
because it wasn't for anybody else to figure out my mess or to help me get out. The guidance was already there. It was already being put in front of me.
yeah,
But it I think sometimes we have good intention no, not sometimes, all the times. People have good intentions when they're trying to help us, but there comes a point where nobody can help us get to where we're supposed to be except for us.
yep, absolutely, absolutely.
And when there's this, oh, the more I kept looking outside of myself and looking for this solution and this funnel solution and this and this and this and this, the louder it got, more chaotic it got,
Yep,
the more it didn't work. And no matter how much I pushed, everything stopped. And I was still pushing and it stopped even more. And then it was like, okay, what else do you want me to show you? What do
Yeah.
you want me to take away from you? What's going to
Yeah.
actually impact you? Money? Okay, let me take that away. Your business? Okay, let me take that away. Relationships? Let me take that away. Now are you going to listen? And coming to nothing, no thing was almost a surrender.
Yeah.
I've done
Yeah.
everything that I know how to do, and now I don't know what to do, and I have to trust and put my hands up and say, "Okay, I surrender. I let go. I'm gonna give my hands over to the higher power, the
Yeah.
whatever you guys
Yeah.
wanna call it." And that's not to say that I didn't take action, but the action looked very different for me.
Yes.
Being a hyperachiever and a results producer and an action taker, that was
Hmm.
my comfort zone.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
what what
Oh.
most people would take 6 months to create, I
Hmm.
literally could create in 5 days, and I'm not joking when I say
Yeah.
that. When I think about things that I I can build out a whole, you know, funnel system
Yeah.
in emails and in less than a week. And some people I know, they'd be like, "Oh my gosh, this takes me forever. I've been working on this for 7 years. I've been working on this for 2 years." That was never my problem. My problem was just stopping.
Hmm. Yeah. And you
My
did, and
problem was
you know,
yeah.
I want to say I've watched it. I've been alongside you in this process, and you say this to many people. I'm so proud with you, and I couldn't be more happy for you and proud with you
Mm,
of what you've created in your life and how you have overcome so much and really did stop and listen. And it's definitely something to be proud of because everything that you learn, you give away, you share this, and you help people not by fixing them, by just being Tina. And I think that that's the difference because when it comes from the place that it's supposed to come from, the core, our, 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 our essence, our soul, we give that away and people just take it. We don't have to fix. We don't have to
mhm,
fix. We get to ask the questions that bring it to light for them. Because again, it's their journey. And I learned that from you in this past year in Kabbalah. And it has really helped me because I have let go of a lot of people pleasing and doing things that people thought that I should do in my business or listening to everyone else and not actually asking myself, what do I want? And all I
mhm.
want to do is help women. That's it. That's all I
Yeah,
want to do is support women in being their best person for themselves. That's it.
mhm,
It's
mhm,
simple. And it doesn't take 2 years to create a website and a this and a that. It doesn't. It just takes time to get out, have a
mhm,
workshop, spend time with people, speak to people, do what we do for ourselves, and we give that away. And if and you know, you came up with this beautiful thing when you did your workshop and we had 20 people. You kept it small, which was beautiful because we all got to know each other in that workshop, which means that's a community. That's a hands-on.
mhm,
It's not just behind a screen. It's actual real and something we can touch and love and learn from. And I think that that was my biggest lesson this year was I don't have to. I get to get out from behind all of the doing and get to start really living in the being and showing up for myself and others online vulnerably and being honest and letting things go. And I'm proud of us. I'm proud of all that we've created together, all that we've created on our own, but I'm even more proud about the relationship that we have built on a simple,
mhm.
I need a coach. Can you help me? That was the phone call, right? Like, please help me. And
Yeah,
that's how it started.
yeah.
And to be able to be in a a relationship with someone like you and I who have like you said, we live completely different lives. We have completely different paths, but we have love. And that's what makes it
Mhm.
special. And I think that people get to see that and realize that sometimes the little things are the big things. And don't ever overlook
Mm.
those special moments.
Yeah, and I mean, just your evolution even this year of I know you did everything for everybody, the hostess with the mostest all the time and going out of your way, and this year, there was a couple times you said, "No, I'm not doing that."
Yeah,
And going on these trips and taking time out for you, it's just been beautiful to watch you too. You doing these videos. I mean, I remember when you were afraid to do a video, you know,
I
and
do. I do.
your first live, you're like, "Oh my god," and I
Right?
remember you were reading the script and I said, "Just be
Yes.
you know, and now
Mhm.
you're like, just doing it,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
doing it. So, yeah, it's been a really I feel like a lot of people are saying that this was a very challenging, but
Yes.
also very rewarding year, for people that stayed in the game and saw it as, "Okay, this is the year of the snake." It's the shedding of the layers, it's
Yeah.
the getting back to basics, it's dealing with upsets and breakdowns, and, I think that next year, 2026, there's going to be a different energy that I know for me personally, there's a
Yeah.
different energy I'm bringing in,
Me too.
and, it's for me, what I'm bringing into the new year is ease and flow.
Okay.
I say yes to up until now, say yes to everything. "Oh, do you want me to be on your podcast? To this, to
Yeah.
that, da da da
Yeah.
da."
Yeah.
People reach out all the time, and I'll say, "Yes, yes, yes." This year, no, this is my plan. If it fits in my end goal, and not that I'm being rigid, but I have a tendency to have shiny penny syndrome,
Yeah.
and I squirrel off path, and I'm seeing now that those are just tests
Yeah.
to stay on path. And so this is something that um I'm looking forward to bringing that into the new year. Just ease, flow, simplicity, letting go of spending 5 hours behind the screen, doing more in-person events, bringing people together, building a community, doing retreats. And I remember last year I said, "I don't love what I'm doing right now on LinkedIn, but it's a means to an end." I'm like, what does that even mean? I make money doing what I hate so that I can do what I love and have freedom. But then what do? We just keep chasing freedom that
That's
never
right.
actually
No.
comes because
No.
the freedom is in doing what you love right now. How can you take what you love and create a life around that? And so yeah, that's going to be different for me this year, doing what I love.
Yeah.
And not listening to anybody else's direction. And I truly mean that. For
Ugh,
8 years, I have
hallelujah.
spent I don't even know how many hundreds of thousands of dollars on coaching and training and programs and marketing and sales and funnels and this and that. And what I realized in all of that, all of it, all of my efforts, the one thing that I know to be true is when I show up just being me without an agenda, that's when everybody comes to me.
Yep.
People want to book calls, people want to work with me, people want to I don't have to push anything, and I don't believe anybody has to. A
No, I
personal
agree.
brand is that people want to do business with the person, and this was a perfect example. When we had our workshop on Monday, there was a woman, I said, um, "Pay what feels right." I didn't even care about the money. I was just like, "Let's get into the room. Let's create this. Pay what feels right. I'm not attached." And she spent a substantial amount of money. And right after that, she said, "Tina, I just signed up for your workshop. I'm not sure what it's about, and I'm pretty sure I don't actually need it because I'm not looking to grow my business, but I just wanted to be in the room with you. If you're sharing something, I wanna learn more about it." She didn't care what I was selling. She cared that she was learning something from
Yeah.
me because she trusts me.
Yeah.
And I realized that a lot of people in the room weren't sure what they were getting. They were just like, "You're creating something? I wanna be a
That's
part
right.
of it."
Yep. Yeah.
And maybe it can be that simple when you build up your personal network and you add value to people's lives and you reach out and you personally invite them.
Absolutely. Absolutely, it can be. It can be because you showed it is. It did. It
Yeah, and I
did.
think everybody's chasing the people that are like, "Oh, I make $100,000 a month. I make $1,000,000 a month. I have this simple business where I make."
Mhm.
We don't even know what's real and what's not. I'm not saying
Yeah.
that those people aren't really achieving
No,
that level of success.
no.
Maybe they really are, but I'm pretty certain it's because they are aligned with what they're giving to the world and they don't really need to sell it,
Yeah.
you know? And
Yeah.
and that's what I realized in all of my investments. Almost every person that's come to me has come to me through my content. Something resonated.
Yeah.
Somebody said, "Oh, that was just like me. I need to have a conversation." And so that's why I believe that when we're aligned with what we want to give to the world, what is the value that we're giving? What's the
Yeah.
message that we want to share? And when we share, people are already there waiting.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
agree.
really that simple.
And it's
Give
really that
give
beautiful.
give
It really
yourself
is.
give yourself away. Like
Yeah.
share your life.
Yeah. Share. And being vulnerable and being authentic, but that's what at the workshop, everyone said that about you. Hey, you're authentic and they trust you because you're not anybody here and somebody different over there. And that's what I kind of really loved about 2025 was rediscovering who I got to be
Mhm.
through all of the pain and the suffering of losing my mom and dad to now recreating something for myself in who I am and who I get to be, and in kind of like a memory and a legacy for them too. You know what I mean? Because that's important to me. Everything that
Yeah.
I've ever, and I know with my dad was the same, everything that I've done because I just want to.
Mhm.
I just want to help.
Mhm.
And that's it. And I think
Mhm.
that's simple. And um 2025 was hard at some times, but it was also really, really amazing other times when I got to really get quiet and see what was possible, without the noise, like you had
Mhm.
said about, when I first began this journey, it was all about what I needed all of it. I needed to learn, I needed to take it all in. Well, this year's been about, okay, I've broken through that now. And now I know exactly where I'm going and I know exactly what's possible for me. And I'm going to step into that and
Mhm.
I'm going to create it.
Mhm.
And you're
Yep.
right. We don't need to
Yep.
do it with someone. We get to do it. And if other people are involved along the way with us, that's one thing. But doing it on our own and doing it for the right reasons is the most powerful and the most humbling at the same time because I feel
Mhm.
so happy when I hear someone say to me, thank you. When something came up today and I got to say, okay, I hear Vicki saying, just pause. It's going to be okay. Pause. Okay. Now how do I go from here? And that makes me
Mhm.
happy because I have
Yeah.
interrupted a pattern for someone that could have gone down not so good of a road, but you get to choose that. Right. And when we realize that it's our choice and, eh, and who we get to be in that process, it's a magical thing. And
Mhm.
I thank
Mhm.
you so much for this past year, Tina. Like, and I know we're going to be doing a New Year's Eve episode. It's going to be a short and sweet one, but we're going to and I don't call them resolutions, I call them what we're going to bring forward in 2026. But Merry Christmas, everyone. I hope that you have the most beautiful, magical holiday, and, spend it with someone you love. Share your love, and I hope it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Merry
Happy
Christmas,
holidays.
everyone.
Bye.
Well, friends, that is the end of our episode today. If you love this episode, hit the subscribe button so you never miss another episode. And please share us with your friends and tag us on your socials at The Art of Being Unstoppable. So for today, have yourself a beautiful day, and let's be unstoppable together. See you next time.